Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to do a short series that is all about the hips. We're going to work on a little bit of hip mobility and then we're going to really strengthen all of the muscles around the hips. We are going to use a resistance loop today. So I have this heavy resistance loop. If you don't have a loop like this, you can always use kind of a regular long TheraBand and just tie it up into a small loop. If you don't have anything, you can still definitely do this workout and you'll get benefits. This is just going to add that little extra resistance that gives us a little extra power. Let's go ahead and get started by doing some mobilizing and some stretching of the pelvis. Meet me on hands and knees on your mat. Hands directly under the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Now what we're going to do here is just start to do circles of the body, thinking about circling around your knees, just moving the hips in a nice circle. And I'm not curling or rocking my pelvis at all yet. I'm just shifting. Think about it more of a shift. Forward, side, back, and then other side. And we're just articulating the femur head, the head of the thigh bone in the hip socket here, just lubricating the joint a little bit. Let's go ahead and switch the direction of the circle. Move with nice ease, freedom of movement, as big as you feel like you want to do there. And obviously, if it doesn't feel good, you should make the range of motion a little bit smaller. Let's do 2 more there, shifting around. You're gonna feel the weight shift in your hands. 1 more. I'm getting a lot of hip pops today. And then we're gonna come back and find center, and we'll do a couple pelvic tilts. So I want you to roll your pubic bone towards your belly button, opening up the space in the low back, and then go the other way, lift your tailbone up to the sky, a little arch of the lumbar spine. Tuck the tail, a little curl of the lumbar spine, and then do a little arch of the lumbar spine. So we're tipping our pelvis front and back, and we're stretching the lumbar spine for some nice mobility in that area. 1 more. Good. And then come on up, step 1 foot forward. From here, I want you to tuck your tailbone under and push the pelvis forward, getting a stretch through that front of the hip there, and then rock it back. Keep the tuck, rock it forward, and rock it back. Taking that again, rock it forward, rock it back. Good, 2 more. Rock it forward, rock it back. Good, last one. Rock it forward, rock it back. Good, we'll do the other side. I'm gonna turn around, but you can just switch feet. Tucking the tail under slightly, and then we push it forward, and we bring it back. Taking that again, reach it forward. Keep that tail heavy, and bring it back. Good. And again, we want to keep the front of the hip nice and open to get the most out of that stretch. 2 more. Rock it forward, tail stays tucked. Good. And in. 1 more. Press it forward. Good. Okay. Bring yourself back to hands and knees again. Extend your right leg straight out to the side, right outside of your hip. Put the whole bottom of your foot down on the ground or the mat, wherever you are. And then from there, keep the pelvis neutral and just rock back. And that should give us a nice stretch through the inner thigh there. And then bring it back forward. Taking that again, rock it back. Good, and rock it forward. Nice, and again, rock it back. And rock it forward. Good, and rock it back. And forward. We'll do the other side. Again, I'm gonna turn around, but you can just switch legs if you have room. Reach that leg out to the side, right in line with your hip, bottom of the foot on the ground, tail is slightly lifted, and we rock it back. And we bring it back forward. Try not to tuck the tail under. Stay reaching back with your tail and your sits bones. And shift the weight forward. Good, we shift the weight back. And we shift it forward. A couple more there. Keep the bottom of your foot on the ground. Good, so the toes are pointing forward, the knee is pointing forward. Last one. Beautiful. Okay, grab your band and come on down onto your back. I'm gonna take a little roll down, So we're going to take the band, we're going to start it around the thighs. And we're going to start to warm up the hips just with some external rotation here. So your feet are down on the ground. Find a nice neutral spine, a little bit of space behind your low back. The ribs are heavy. Good. Toes pointing forward. Like I said, heels in line with sits bones here. And then on your exhale, we're going to press the legs out against the band. So the thigh bones are starting to externally rotate out to the side, and then we just draw it back in on the inhale. Exhale to press out. As we do that, we feel a little bit of narrowing between the hips, so our deep core is turning on a bit, and then we inhale back in. And then we take it again. Exhale to press out. Inhale to release in. Take a few more like that. Nice and simple to start. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. Good. Exhaling out. Inhaling in. One more. Maybe two more. Let's do two more. And bring it in. One more. And bring it in. Good. Now we're going to draw the legs up to a tabletop position. Keep those ribs heavy. Keep the sacrum, so the back of the pelvis, down into the floor. And on your next exhale, we're going to tap the right toes down, strengthening the hamstring there, and then bring it in, and then do the left. And bring it in. Good. Do the right. And up and left. Pelvis stays neutral here. The hips are staying nice and still, and we're working the hamstring and the core. Hamstrings. It's multiple muscles. Good. And then let's go a little quicker. And left. Good. And right. And left. Again, there's no rocking in the pelvis there. And left. Good. Couple more. Right. And left. One more each way. Good. And left. And then both legs will stay up in tabletop, although if you ever need a break, your hip flexors are starting to feel a little tight, please feel free to go ahead and take a break. Legs will be tabletop position when you're ready, knees directly over the hips. And then from here, we're going to open both legs out against the band. Again, we're working on that external rotation, and then we're bringing it back in. We take it again. Exhaling to go out. Inhaling to come in. Take it again. Exhale, press out. Inhale in. Good. You should feel a lot of work around the outside of the hip there and the back of the hip. Good. Four more. 4. Whew. And 3. Stay connected in the core. 2. Every time you exhale, you feel a little bit of drawing in there. And 1. Awesome. Hug the knees into the chest for a second. Give yourself a little break. And then take that band down off of the thighs and around your feet. So it's around the arches of both feet. Legs up to tabletop, arms drop down by your side. Find your neutral. Next exhale, push your right leg straight as your left leg draws in. So we're getting hip flexor here, hamstring here, and then we bring it in. We switch. Pull in with the bent knee as you extend out with the opposite and bring it in. And switch. And in. Now, I like to keep my spine neutral here and really just focus on the hips, but if you're looking for a little bit of extra ab work today, go ahead and take this up into a curl. As long as you can keep your belly flattening and pulling in and up, you can have the curl. Totally up to you though. Option for the curl or down. Let's take a few more here. Knee tracking right over the center of the hip, ankle staying in line with the center of the knee, and switch. Good, and switch. Couple more there. Pull in with the bent knee, make sure you get that hip flexor work, and pull. Let's do one more set. Reach. Narrowing between the hip bones with every exhale. Awesome. Now we're going to put both ankles in the band there, so it's around both ankles. We're going to go ahead and bring the hands behind the head. On your exhale, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and extend both legs out long. And then bring it in. Taking it again. Exhale, curl up as you extend both legs. And bring it in. Again. 3 more there. Exhale, flatten the belly. Bring it in. 2 more. And bring it in. Last one. Bring it all the way in. Good. Okay, now the band's gonna slip all the way up around the thighs again, feet resting down. You're gonna take the legs wide enough that you already feel a tiny bit of tension in the band. Arms are down by your side. From here, roll your pubic bone towards your belly button, drawing the pelvic floor in and up. Press down through all corners of the feet as you peel your hips and your spine up off of the mat. At the top, hold your bridge. Stay heavy in your sternum, heavy in your ribs, and then press out against the band 5 times. 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and then roll it down with control. Take your time to articulate through the spine, so we're getting that nice spinal mobility too, and then we take the same thing again. Roll it up. Press down through the arms, pause there. Press out 5 times, but keep your big toe connected to the mat. So we're keeping some work through the feet too. Good. And then roll it down. We take that 2 more times through, roll it up. Reach your knees forward over your toes and press out for 5, 4, 3, keeping a connection in the feet, 2, 1, and roll it all the way down. Last one there, roll it up. Feel the knees reach forward over the toes and then press for 5, 4, good, 3, and 2, and 1, and roll it down. Awesome, grab your band. We're taking just a nice stretch here. Put the band around the arch of one foot. Put the other foot down on the mat. I've got my right foot up if you want to stay on the same side as me, and we're gonna stretch that right leg straight up to the sky. Try to rock your pubic bone away from your belly button to get the best stretch there. Bend the knee in towards the chest and stretch it up long. Nice dynamic stretch of the hamstring there. Bend the knee. Press it straight. 2 more. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Try not to put any excessive tension in that upper body. 1 more. Bend, stretch, and hold. Good. Let's switch sides. Left foot is in the band. Left hip pulling down away from the left ear, and then extend that leg straight up. Try not to tuck your tail too much. If you find you're really tucking your tail, let your leg come further away from you. It doesn't have to be super close to you. Bend the knee in. When we're stretching our hamstrings, it's much more important to extend the knee all the way and to have the pelvis neutral. Bend and stretch. Good. Let's take 2 more there. 1 more. Stretch it up. Keep your tailbone anchored and maybe pull the leg a little closer to you if that's available to you. Good. And then the band comes around the lower leg again, maybe just like right above the ankle. And you're gonna flip over onto your side. Legs go long, and you can have your hand propped up on your head propped up on your hand like this, or laying all the way down long on your arm, whatever's more comfortable for you. But make sure your ears are in line with your shoulders and not in front of them. Good. Legs are going to be a little bit forward of your hips. Rotate it out so we have heels together, toes apart. We draw in and up in the low belly. Top hand on the mat. Take your top leg, kick it forward, up, back, and down and around. Forward, find the tension in the band. Keep the tension in the band around, back, and forward. Good, we're gonna keep going like that. Forward, up, around, and back. Good. Forward, up, around, and back. 2 more. Keep your pelvis nice and stable. You want the hips stacked one on top of the other to the best of your ability. Let's reverse that circle. Go back, up, and around. Nice. Keep that external rotation. So my knee is pointing up to the sky the whole time, even as the leg comes forward. Back, up, and around, long through both sides of the waist. A few more here. 3. Whew. Nice and slow so you can keep control. 1 more. Good. Really nice. Let's just flip right on over and take that on the other side again. We're keeping this kind of a shorter workout today, so we're not doing too much on each side. Hand comes underneath the head there, or your arm can be long, it's up to you. Legs a little bit in front of the hips. Lengthen through both sides of the waist, and then keep your leg pulling forward, up, around, and back. Remember, we have the legs turned out, so the knee points up towards the sky. Good. Forward, up, around, and back. Really nice. forward, up, around, and back. Good. Nice. One more. Beautiful. Keep that pelvis stable. Go the other way. Go back, up, and around. Nice and slow so you can focus on keeping the waist long and the hips stacked. It's hard around this side for me. 2 more. Actually, 3 more, sorry. And 2. 1 more. Awesome work. Very nice. Okay, flip onto your back. You can lose the band. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Lift the legs up and grab the back of that left thigh. And just hang out there in the stretch, feeling your right knee push away from your right shoulder. Good, and then we'll switch sides. Left ankle crosses over right thigh, hands come behind the thigh, and we stretch. Keep breathing. Good, and then we relax from there. You're gonna make your way up to standing to finish with one more thing here. We will take the band and we will put it around the lower leg again. And then if the resistance feels like a little bit too much for you, you can go ahead and lose it and just do this without the resistance. That's totally fine. But what we're gonna do, band around the lower leg, feet parallel, toes pointing forward, hands, let's do genie position. You're gonna step out to the left, bending that left knee, sitting your hips back, and then pull back up and in. Press out and sit back, and then come back in. Good. Lengthen out through the tail. I'm keeping my spine nice and neutral, so my tail's reaching back and up, and bring it in. And it's okay if it's small, right? We've got some resistance we're working with there. Watch that your knees don't collapse in. Push the knees out. Good. Let's just do 3 more on that side. Sit out, pull it in. Good. Out and in. 1 more. Nice work. Let's switch sides. I'm gonna move over a little bit. We're gonna walk over to the right side, knees pointing forward. Don't let them collapse in. That's where the work is. And then bring it in. Good. Step it out. Bring it in. Nice. And again. Beautiful. Again, step it out. And in. Good. 2 more. You got this. Nice long neutral spine. Hinge at the hip. Good. Awesome. Nice work. Okay, you can take that band off of your legs. You are all set for now. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Great work. I'll see you again next time.